Hey guys, welcome back to Dub Club. So today I'm going to be doing a pretty unexpected video. I recently had the chance to buy a turbo for the STI. It's not a giant turbo, but it's a little bit bigger than the factory one. It's the AMR CXR 500 turbo. It needed a rebuild kit, so I took it apart. I had to measure the shaft diameter because I couldn't find a rebuild kit that was specifically for the AMR turbo. I don't have me taking the turbo apart on video, however, it's a pretty simple process, so let's get started. When taking the turbo apart, it's really important that you mark on each of the wheels how it is in comparison to the other wheel and to the shaft. If you don't do this, you're going to have to balance the turbo after you get it together, and that could be costly. Here, I made 3 marks on this wheel, and I made 3 marks on this wheel, and then I put the marks on this side, that's the intake side, and right here on the exhaust side. When it comes to assembly, you just gotta make sure that you clean everything real good before you start putting anything together. So that's why I got this brake cleaner right here. I'm just gonna spray it all down, make sure that there's no rust or debris or any dust on it, and that's when I'm gonna start putting it together. Now these journal bearings, they are brand new, however I'm still gonna spray them down and just make sure that there's nothing on them. So for my assembly lube, I'm going to use this Lucas Oil Products lube. So pretty much you just want to get everything nice and oily so you don't have any metal on metal rubbing when you turn the car on. The first thing that's going to go in is going to be this bearing. This bearing has to go in nice and smooth. You can't have any restriction when putting it in, so just make sure it slides in real easy, just like that. Now this thrust collar is gonna go in. This thrust collar goes in flat side down towards the bearing, like this. So this side goes up and this side goes down. So it just sits in there just like that. Now it's time to put the thrust bearing in, which is right here. Now this goes in, this hole has to match up with that notch right there that comes out. Now just a quick comparison between the Turbo Lab and the original AMR thrust bearings. As you can see on this side, they look pretty close. This one just has these little passages for extra oil to get in there. And then on this side, you can see that this one has 2 oil paths, while the original one only has 1. Now, you just have to put it in, and you have to align this hole with that little notch that comes out. And then you also have to, obviously, put it onto that thrust collar. This is just the old O-ring that I just pulled out. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Now I'm going to put in the new O-ring. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on it just so it doesn't get a tear in it when I'm putting the rest of the parts in. And you got to make sure that goes into the original hole where it's supposed to. Now we're going to put together these 2 pieces. So you put it in with this, so pretty much you just go like this. This goes into here, like that. Then this little metal seal goes into that little groove, which you can see it's right there. And now this metal seal, you got to be really careful with. You got to hold it from the back where it's closed in the hole, and then just kind of go around, and just like that it goes into position. So the next step is going to be to assemble these two pieces together. Now this is gonna go into here like that, but you just gotta be really careful not to bend this metal clip that we just put in last step. You're gonna watch for where that clip splits and start from the back end. Okay, and just like that, it should slide in really easily. You don't have to push it, you don't have to force it in too hard. Just play with it a little bit and it'll go in. Now that we have this piece assembled, it's time to put it into the turbo. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna match up this part that kind of sticks out and goes down, and it's gonna have to go into this hole right here. And again, you're gonna be really careful not to damage this O-ring. So let's go. I got this piece in that we just assembled. Now it's time to put that O-ring clip in. This clip right here is gonna go into this hole where we just inserted. Alright, perfect. Now we're gonna move to the exhaust side of the turbo, where all you need to do is just insert the bearing into there and then put the heat shield on, and that's gonna be it for this side. It goes, it's in there, nice, easy fit. Now it's time to put the heat shield on. Bam, simple as that. It's time to put the seal, the rear seal on the turbo. That goes onto here. And this right here is that seal. So you just slide it on, and it's pretty much the same process as with the front one. You just kind of got to get it in from the back and then just push it over. There it goes. Now you got to be really careful with it. You don't want to bend it. You don't want to damage it. Now we're just gonna insert it into the turbo and slide it in. Alright, there it goes. Now, time to put the intake blades on. So this is pretty much just gonna slide in here. Now we're gonna put this nut back on, this reverse thread nut. Alright, now that I got these marks all lined up, it's time to tighten this nut. Hand tight and then a quarter turn. Now this is a reverse nut, so you gotta act like you're unscrewing it. Alright, that looks like it's what it's supposed to be. Now it's just time to put these exhaust and intake housings back on, and then the turbo is done. So let's put this O-ring in. There it goes. Now the intake housing. Now there's a little notch right here, as you can see, where this that piece right there is gonna go. Just like that. Now it's time for this massive clip that holds the housing in. Now it's time to put the hot side on. There's also a little pin right here that goes into this little hole. And that is held on by this V-band clamp right here. This clamp goes in like that. And around, just like a regular V-band. Alright, perfect.